Game number 1, Infernal Shrines, ladies. Yep, last match of the regular season in Division S. Last match before we're heading into playoffs. Washed up against Crystal Gaming, another best of 5 series, and we're kicking things off on Infernal Shrines. So a little bit of a Diablo tile set right there. And yeah, let's have a bit of a look. I mean, washed up at this point, obviously, still number 1 in the standings. Crystal Gaming is trying to jump up a little bit and yeah, solidify their position, let's put it like that. But yeah, the team in blue has so far done really well and can of course now head into this with the chest out, a lot of confidence. And the first thing that they do is they're saying like, hey, we know this Ixia guy, we know that he likes to play Zarya, so nope, not happening. And Crystal Gaming goes for the banana strategy, because if you don't ban Ana against Banana, then Banana is going to be bananas on Ana, and therefore they ban Ana, which makes a whole lot of sense. A lot of teams do that, and for good reason, because that guy, there's a reason he has Ana in his name. Yeah. Deathwing also gets banned. What else is new? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the European esports scene. European esports, European Heroes of the Storm. Deathwing is banned. More news at 11. So, with Deathwing banned out, we also have Maiev taken away. And, well, let's go. As we say in Germany, let's fetz. Infernal Shrines. And what's the first pick for our boys here? They played actually a lot, I was about to say, with Reyna lately, as one of their first picks, especially on Battlefield of Eternity. Different map, but still works for them. And now we're starting things off with Tyrael, which is always making me a little bit suspicious. If you have a Tyrael opening, then usually you follow up with some auto attackers there. I mean, one of the things that I would actually expect here maybe even is Greymane. But the last, I would say, what was it, 2 months maybe? It always feels like whenever I see Tyrael, I'm immediately like, where's Morales? Are we going to see a backdoor? But I don't suppose that's what's going on here. Johanna and Tychus. Very early Tychus pick, actually. Could definitely have let that one slide for later round. That's not really a contested pick by any means. Tychus isn't really picked a whole lot. We've seen him now once or twice again. Especially North America. Likes to play a little bit more around the Renegade. But Jojo makes a lot of sense. Good wave clear, really solid on this. There's Jimmy. Okay, Jimboy is in, and we see Malfurion picked as well, shattering the hopes and dreams of everybody out there that wanted them to pick Morales and go for a backdoor strategy. But then again, we've had a lot of those just recently. Most of them don't really work. A couple of them did though. And yeah. It's always interesting, because you know from the get-go what's happening, and the opponent knows too. And then it's of course always a question of execution and opportunity. Hammer gets banned out. Can't blame them here. Even though they already have Jimmy, double auto attack would definitely have worked for them too. So off we go. Last pick on the side, or last ban on the side of Washed Up. Now, what do you ban out here after the opponent opened up with Tychus? You could ban support, ban Rhaegar, for example, so that we don't see the Johanna lightning shield set up for even more wave clear. Stukov, something that they're more so worried about. Okay, that's going to make sure that Tyrael is getting his sanctification through. No silence there. And, well, double pick time. What do we get? We still need the support, and every single time we talk about Crystal Gaming support, yep, there we go. Whitemane and Zeratul. Okay. Unless Ixia slides over to Whitemane later on. Could still see him on a different pick though. Zeratul, we've actually seen 1 or 2 games lately again with Void Prison and Ring of Frost. Not really a whole lot of them, I don't want to make it sound the wrong way here. It's still mostly Might of Nerazim that gets played on Zeratul for good reason. I mean, good Zeratul players are just chunking away at the hit point pools of any backline hero. But we've seen it again. Leoric is ready to take out the trash. Kerrigan is in as well. And unless swapped around, it's going to be Hazo on Kerrigan. I highly doubt that. I'm pretty sure that Hazo is going to jump on Jimmy and is going to play with him here. But here comes our last pick. On the side of Crystal Gaming, what are the boys in red going to play as their last hero? Yeah, Sonya. That's one of the reasons, by the way, why I personally expected Rhaegar to be taken. Sonya and Johanna, both with Lightning Shield, have a lot of wave clear to add, and also the Ancestral Healing is kind of nice. But Whitemane is locked in. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're good to go. Game number 1, Infernal Shrines, best of 5 series, last Division S match before the playoffs. Let's jump right in, Washed Up against Crystal Gaming. Let's fetch, sprach der Frosch und sprang in den Mixer. Game number 1, washed up against Crystal Gaming. Hazops on Reyna for the blue team. Banana H on Malfurion. Nick, of course, on Carrigan. Masquerade on Tyrael. And Dayquaza on Leoric. On the right side of the map, Koleos and Zeratul for Crystal Gaming. Skewubi on Johanna. We have Yazu on Whitemane. Ixie on Tychus. And Slade on Sonya. Well, and let's go. First game, immediate opening here with the Greater Cleave for Zeratul, usually followed up with a level 16 Void Slash. Normally when it comes to builds, that's where it's like, that's the only extent which we're seeing Cleave build these days, unless you're really going for some full setup and then also drop the Void Prison later on in the game. But also now the ace in the hole for Jimmy once again, of course. Exterminator has started to... I really don't want to say like the regular pick necessarily on Battlefield of Eternity, but it's now all of a sudden at least playable. But outside of that, it's all ace in the hole, ace in the hole, and ace in the hole. The way it should be, of course. So now that we're jumping into this, we also have on level 1 the press the advantage, so you increase the attack range a little bit more, which is always kind of neat, especially for a hero that has problems with his attack range in the first place. So always kind of nice for Tychus to stay Gucci and safe. But the rotation is happening, and Leo up at the top is actually starting to body Slate here. It's like, damn son. Yeah, our little Sonya has a bit of a problem, I'd say. And down in the middle of the map, we still have some aggression with the 4 setups going up against each other. But look at that, Nick is already looking towards the top lane and says like, Carrigan, want some Sonya. And there's the kill. Sonya down, and honestly, that one was a little bit telegraphed. Now, Sonya shouldn't really have gotten this much of a beating from Leo in the first place, but then once that Carrigan just got her fangs into this was obviously a goner. Nice zone out here from Johanna though, so it still allows the red team to take their camps. That was a good one. That definitely helped. But Leo is now sitting topside, and you look at experience, and there's obviously a bit of an advantage now for the blue team. Not only because they got the kill, but also because that meant some experience was lost topside. Sonya is picking up on some of it for the difference, but still. Rotation down to the bottom as the blue team is trying to lock in 2 camps compared to the one that we've already seen claimed by Crystal Gaming. Level 4 talents are in, and a fight or flight as usual. More so interesting is what Zeratul is going to pick here. And he actually goes into a full cleave build. Yeah, he goes for the rending cleave here. We also have on level 4, the bigger they are. Typical talent to take. Again, a little bit of a PSA. If you pick anything else but the bigger they are, and you fancy yourself to play in a more competitive environment, doesn't really matter which kind of amateur league you're in, then you're doing it wrong. This is the talent on level 4. And it's the talent, and has been the talent consistently for years and years on Tychus play for a reason. Absolutely fantastic. When someone leads with the stun, you come in with the bigger they are, you chunk the tank's hit point pool down, and then with the help of the rest of the team, you just annihilate the target completely. So yeah, the bigger they are, once again, the option here. I love how Tyrael is actually sneaking around on the top right a little bit to see if he can interrupt the pick on the Shaman camp. I don't really think that he can do anything, but he can definitely keep them on their toes. That's exactly what we're seeing. On top of that, we have, of course, the cooldown reduction for Johanna on level 4. Eternal Retaliation has now been claimed by her. And Nick is working on the stacks. Level 4 is by now on 23, so it's roughly 25% finished with the quest talent. But talking about finishing things, Dayquaza is finishing minion after minion at the top to give his team the lead. That's exactly what we're seeing from him. Level 7 is in, and oh boy, is the red team now in a pickle. Starting to fight for this is going to be awkward. Now, there are 5 heroes, but Carrigan is now jumping in, and just look at Zeratul. Zeratul is already incredibly low and is about to die if he doesn't pay attention here. Needs to be really careful. I would not go in, dude. Like, believe me, that's a mistake. Okay, gets healed, gets the fountain. Alright, now we're talking. But without level 7, still nothing that they can really do here. So this is going to be the first Punisher for Washed Up. They're about to lock that one in. And that will allow them easily to break at least the wall down, or at least it should. Carrigan is on the rotation. On Leo's side, we have actually Hopelessness. So increasing the drain rage a little bit for Leo. This is already starting to ghost around at the side here. Bait over the wall, successful. Tyrael, by the way, is also here, and so is Leo, so the two of them are already zoning them out, so you can bait that Punisher 6 days to Sunday, but if your opponent is playing this nicely around it, then you're still going to suffer quite a bit of damage, and that's exactly what's happening here. Khaldor has to jump out too, as that Arcane Punisher is dropping an Arcane Sentry on him, and they are pushing the entire fight past this, and oh boy, that Punisher baited all the way down to the keep, but as you can see, wall has fallen, bit of damage on the fort. It's not going to be too much. Hazops is making sure that he gets a little bit more in, but at the end of the day, they won't be able to take it down. So, yeah. Did some serious damage, though, sets themselves ahead slightly, and that's honestly all that you can ask for right now. Yeah, a little bit of a shield for the minions, soaking a couple more shots. That would have been even more impactful in the days where towers still had ammunition that you could drain, but of course that's not the case any longer. And therefore the shield helps to push a little bit more damage onto those structures, but it's honestly just a tiny thing to do here. Yeah, but we have camps to be taken off. And on the left side already, first camp is about to be taken. Keep in mind, there's only a single kill in this game. Only one. The kill against Sonya, as we had the rotation previously, but there is a level lead that we now see 4 washed up, so the blue team is ahead in that sense. The level 7 talents now also on both sides. We shouldn't forget that level 10 is now ready for the washed up, and they are actually looking to see if they can get a kill here. Khaldor is waiting over for his cooldown, gets it finally, just as Masquerade is jumping in. Level 10 shouldn't really allow washed up to get anything here, unless Leo drops the Entomb, and he does. Goodbye, Johanna. Johanna down, and for some reason, Zeratul seem to have a bit of a death wish here, and they're just saying, like, you know what, we're gonna get that kill. Then again, Tyrael died too, but thanks to them now moving in with also the Hyperion, that's gonna be the fort, if not taken out, then at least severely damaged. And what do you know? There's also the Void Prison on Zeratul's side, so we don't see any kind of Might of the Nerazim plays in the backline. Instead, we have the Void Prison. And of course, you can always try and follow up with maybe an additional stun. Jimmy at the bottom of the map, 3 kills against 1 now, with Tyrael falling. Never really used its sanctification. More minions coming in, but Slate is on the job. Starts to jump in right now. Bot lane, that's a bit of a different story. So all of a sudden, we have a lockdown attempt against Nick. The sanctification saving his ass. And here's the counter play with the Void Prison. Sanct and VP both being used. Nick a bit low, but he gets healed. Zeratul was already looking for a potential kill, but couldn't get it. Banana H just zoned him out and also made sure that Kerrigan got the quick top up here on the hit point pool. So with 3 kills against 1, we have now nearly level 12 versus 11. Lockdown with the roots. And Zeratul makes it out, but Washed Up is still on the chase. The Ultralisk is also doing his thing here. The next shrine gets announced, and we have 12 versus 11, so no level 13 talent advantage or anything yet, but that could be a kill, and the ult had to be used on White Main's side to keep everybody alive. Nick eats the grenade here from Ixia on his Tychus, but is still able to make it out. Either way, Leo is already on the shrine, but shrine just now active. Should at least get the team a small advantage. I mean, well, +7, that's already quite neat. Having the AoE here definitely helps. And all of a sudden, we're having Crystal Gaming a little bit behind, and they need to be cautious. If they, oh, yep, steal that one away. That was a good one. Before Dequaza gets the final hit connected with another sweep. So now we have 13 to 8. But the fight is about to break out, and the problem is that level 13 is actually not really all that far away. There's still a good chance that they grab that talent. There's the Entomb, and it's Hyperion time, baby. And that's a kill. Jojo down. Hyperion still with solid damage. In comes Sonya, and she also gets dropped shortly after that. Yasuo gets drained, should be able to get away unless Nick gets the combo connected, and in this case he just doesn't. Corlius, on the other hand, he is always playing a little bit on the edge here, and that nearly dropped him. Yeah, there's always time for a quick spray, but the Mortar Punisher has been taken behind all of this. Now with 5 kills against 1, we have level 13 versus level 12. Okay, so with this, there's at least the first fort falling. Leo has also pushed out another wave at the top. Sonya is moving there to deal with that. But with level 13 talents, we now have not only the Chrysalis, but also the Sword of Justice. Tyr was always a righteous bastard. I mean, seriously. Just have to look through his talents to know that he's a dick. Justice Fall, Bound by Law, Reciprocate, I let that slide, but like Sword of Justice. I mean, honestly, Tyrael was always a bit of a douchebag, seriously. Would anybody invite Tyrael over for a coffee? I think the answer is clearly no. Tyrael is the guy when you, I don't know, when you like park in the wrong spot for like 5 minutes because there's no other parking space, Tyrael is the one that's going to bitch at you no matter how close connected you are with him. So yeah, Tyrael was always a little bit awkward in that sense. He could be German. Honestly, he could be German. Nobody likes those guys either. So yeah, I never really found anybody that's like, you know what, the Tyrael guy, he's a bro. He's a bro. I really want to drink a beer with him. He's a totally cool guy. But as it stands, we have 13 talents for both sides now, so at least there's an opportunity to maybe fight back here. Masquerade, by the way, talking about Tyrael, he kind of got lost there a little bit. I heavily recommend Google Maps. Great tool to have. So, I mean, we all have phones here. I mean, we all want to play Diablo Immortal one day. So, yeah. Don't you have a phone? Of course I have a phone. And Tyrael apparently has one too, because it found his right way after all. Also got a little bit of help from Leo here. There's already the Void Prison. And yeah, I don't know. Zoned out. Hazu comes in. He's just like, Hyperion, baby. Let's get all the damage. Oh, yeah, on the other hand, that's a choke point. And hello, Entomb. Oh, yeah, baby. Ask it, Whoopi. Look at that. Nick nearly down, gets the Chrysalis out. Can they actually get the kill regardless? Damn, son. Everybody pressing our buttons over here, don't they? Nick is still low, and they could actually take him down, and I think they should. And they will. Down goes Kerrigan. Nice kill by Zeratul. Nicely done. Initially, that actually was a fight against them. Oh, Mini Leo. Everybody should have one. Mini Leo with a janitor skin is honestly to me like a Roomba. Just walks around and cleans shit up. So now that Leo is still alive, we at least have Tyrael die. And trade value, baby! Oh yeah, down he goes. Zeratul is dead, so is Johanna. And with this, it makes it a 2-3 trade in favor of Washed Up, who now have a level 16 talents. And they get another kill. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a 5-man team wipe. Taking all the bad boys down. Also, talking about taking shit down, seems like the keep in the mid lane is about to be taken down too. But, yep, there we go. That's gonna be the elimination of keep number 1. Talking about eliminating things. If you look to the top lane, there's a minion wave that is currently trying to eliminate the fort. Now, I don't really think it's gonna work, but it's gonna be so low that someone like this badass can just go in and straight in mop to the pillar to drop the foundation of that fort. I mean, either way, it is tough going for Crystal Gaming. Crystal Gaming is 7 kills behind, they're 2 levels behind, and what's more important, they are talent behind. No level 16, won't be able to do much, honestly. So right now, this is very much looking like we will have another Punisher for the blue team, which would be the 3rd in a row. Yes, counter aggression at the bottom of the map, since Crystal Gaming just says, boys, the only thing we can do, the only thing we need to do, get experience. Get level 16, make sure that we can defend with 16. But since everybody at the bot lane is in vision and they know where they are, Washed Up has just simply decided that they're going for a double Shaman Camp. And double Shaman Camp, they're timing it, or they're trying to time it actually, with the Punisher too. So we have the first Shaman Camp coming in. Now they are going to grab the Punisher, and then they're going to try and delay this for as long as they can, and that is going to spell out a lot of damage. Tyrael already was sitting tight, making sure that nobody would move in from the side, has everything there ready for the zone, and this is pretty nasty. I mean, just look at this setup. Here comes the Shaman, starting to move around, double Shaman Camp, Punisher. This is an insane push. It's honestly an insane push. This hurts. This really hurts. This is going to hurt a lot. Talk about hurting. Let's take a bit of a look at the damage output while we're at it. 29,000 for Tyrael. Top damage in the game. You know he's going to be an asshole about this. He's going to be like, oh, but who did the most hero damage in the last game? Huh? 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 Well, right now it's you, buddy. But Raider could be the one turning this. And oh, the VP. Kolios gets out. But it seems like we see Johanna die. Nope, it's Sonya who goes down. And Jimmy takes over the top damage numbers. Yeah, Tyrael will be very unhappy about that. He's still trying to catch up. But as you can tell, this is going to be the end of game number 1. Washed Up with a solid win. 13 kills to 3. What a setup. 3 level advantage as the core falls. Washed Up with a big victory on map number 1 against Crystal Gaming. Game number 2. So, washed up, ladies and gentlemen, with a 1-0 against Crystal Gaming. Dragonshire is our second map as we're happy to jump into the draft. Solid performance from Washed Up on game number 1, I gotta say. So, 13 kills against 3 at the end of the game, I think. And, well, now the big question is, can Crystal Gaming turn this around? They took first pick, first ban. Therefore, Dragonshire is the map choice of Washed Up. Which should actually make it quite interesting in terms of what we're going to see banned out. Now, you want to ban Deathwing, obviously. You want to ban Rexa on this map, on the other hand, because he's just super solid. But Ana gets banned out too. But now really the question becomes, what exactly does Washed Up get rid of? Because in theory, you could also just let both of those picks through. And then it's going to be, well, more so a question who gets what. But Deathwing gets banned out immediately. Okay. And honestly, if you're on the side of Crystal Gaming, what do you ban out right now? Now, if you don't want to pick Rexa for yourself, then obviously this is the moment to ban him out. But if you play on Dragonshire and you have first pick already, then duh, Rexa is kind of the hero you want to go for. He is the king of Dragonshire for a reason. The ability to hold lane control with Misha or shrine control with Misha and then vice versa is just too good. You get both at the same time, so yeah. But, well, let's see. Garrosh gets banned out, okay. Not really a ban that I necessarily thought of at this point, but hell yeah, why not? And now the Rexa question. So we're gonna come back into the big question, Rexa or no Rexa? I mean, honestly, get rid of him. Unless you have a super mobile setup to take him down all the time and rotate up. But they actually prioritize my F, so Rexa is open. Now, if Crystal Gaming doesn't pick him, I can tell you exactly who's going to take him, and that's going to be Washed Up. So that should be an insta-lock on Rexa. And apparently, we're not going to see that at all. Fair enough. Crystal Gaming was always a little bit out there when it comes to that drafting, but passing up on Rexa on Dragonshire? Okay, there we go. Not even Crystal Gaming does that. Okay. Rexa taken. And, well, there we go. Now that Rexa is in, what you kind of need is, first of all, you need, of course, someone on the top lane that can somehow, like, hold zone against him. But at the same time, you, in an ideal world, want someone that can actually be aggressive against him with a quick rotation between lanes, for example. So, that would be that. Kerrigan is in for Nick again. Junkrat for Hazu. Okay. And what else do we have? I mean, at this point, honestly, Kerrigan can be aggressive. Junkrat can follow up with a quick bomb or mine every single time that you get a lockdown in, so that's nice. Vala Zarya. Alright, we're going. Zarya finally makes it into the game, so Ixia gets his hero. We've seen Zarya banned out in game number 1, and if you followed any of the Division S matches throughout the season, you've obviously seen that Zarya got actually banned against Crystal Gaming multiple times. I mean, not only against them. If you talk about any, like Lauber's Fan Club, for example, where we have this Garrosh and Zarya combo with Swamgrotta playing Zarya. That's another good example of a team that plays a lot with her. But there's the Johanna ban. Okay, so that's a little bit less wave clear for them now, at least on the frontline tank. And also an indicator that Washed Up has absolutely no ambitions of going into Johanna themselves. Could we this lineup, if they want to go into an aggressive Kerrigan setup, in theory go for material again? But there's obviously quite a few tanks out there that would still fit the bill here. I honestly want to see a little bit more Muradin again. After the patch, we saw him picked a bit more since Blizzard put a few changes onto him. But he's honestly always a little bit fun. I mean, he's pretty much run-of-the-mill, right? Like, he's not in any kind of way super exciting unless you go for Haymaker, which nobody really does if they want to win, and it's not a meme game. But Muradin is kind of fun in the sense that you have with Stormer, you know, at least that skill shot out there, and just, like, hopping around the entire time is cool. So I would have loved to see some like stun setups with Muradin again, but we don't really see any of those lately. Banana H plays Stukov, and we have Dehaka, so we have not only the Kerrigan combo, but we have also Stukov behind it with the Silence, and Dehaka on top of that with the Tongue and Isolation. So that's actually a lot of tools that they have right now. And yeah, I kind of like this. There's a lot of CC that they have, especially since Junkrat can follow up on most of these things with the mine, just like push the target back in. Blaze gets picked too. That is melee heavy to say the least. Oh boy. And Oriel. Oh, Blaze main tank. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, of course. They're running out of slots here. It's just like, yeah, support would be nice, right? Okay, so Vala, Zarya, Oriel, our triple, and then Blaze at the front, so even the bunker is available. Ah, well, game 2, ladies. Masquerade, what are we gonna get for the main tank now? What's left? I mean, you can still play with Tyrael. You have a Diablo out there. You have Melganis that could still be picked. We're not gonna run out of main tanks anytime soon. And it's a Nubarak instead. Yeah, if you dive in with everything that they have here, stun into silence in the carrying combo, hell yeah, why not? Game 2, Shire, washed up against Crystal Gaming. Let's jump in, ladies and gentlemen. Game on, ladies and gentlemen. Washed up against Crystal Gaming. Shire, the map. Hazobs on Junkrat. We have Dequaza on Dehaka, Banana H on Stukov, Masquerade on Anubarak, and Nick on Kerrigan. And, well, here we go. The lead for Washed Up already secured after the first map. Now we're heading into the second one to see if they can extend that lead a bit. Kolios on Vala for Crystal Gaming in their attempt to force the tie here. We currently have Skibubi on Blaze, Yasuo on Oriel, Ixia on Zarya, and Slade on Rexa. Alright. Oh, let's have a look. First of all, we have race car version at this point. As you can see, enhanced agility. That's what we currently have here, plus also multi-shot build for Vala. And feel the heat for Zarya. Yeah, I am intrigued to see how this is going to work out for them. Especially, of course, Kolios, he needs to be the one on Vala to just bring the pain right now. Get those auto attacks in. Pew, pew, pew. Multi-shot then later, follow up on that. And yeah, just get those stacks in and run around. It's actually kind of nice for him right now to have some beetles on the ground because he can keep his stacks up a little bit better. But there's already someone that's jumping in, and that is Nick, and that's the follow-up mine on the ground. But not really used to its fullest extent just yet. Either way, top side, that's where the Haka is now fighting off against Rexa. Now, of course, Rexa will eventually hold this. Now, in case that you're not really familiar with the Rexa setup, maybe you should wait for a second until I explain that to you, because that could be a nice one here. Nice dodge, damn! Well done by the blue team, by the red team. So, it's pretty easy. You want to fight for the shrine at all times. The problem is, if you are Dehaka, for example, you have to make the choice. Do you play on lane or do you fight for the shrine? If you're Rexa, you don't have that problem. You can simply have Misha up at the shrine, take control there, and Rexa pushes out the lane. And once that you pushed out the lane and your own lane pushes into the opponent's towers, Dehaka has to make a choice. Does he give up control of the shrine, or does he rotate in and get the experience? He can't do both, has to do one of the two. So that's why Rexa is just so incredibly good, because he can hold two positions at the same time. Now the same applies to Brexit holdout as well. The problem there is that the map is just shit and teams don't play them. It's therefore not even part of the map pool in Division S. So that's actually a big part of this. But generally speaking, the same mechanic applies there too. And now we already have double control on the shrines of Washed Up. And what Washed Up has to do, they either have to rotate someone to the top all the time to double off up against Rexa, or they have to win the format, which is not really all that easy for them. Oh, ho, ho, the kill, come on. First blood, you're right there, all right. It's not really that easy for them to win the 4-man. In this case, actually a 3-man setup for the two teams bot lane, since we have Kerrigan against Blaze in the middle. But either way, this is a pretty good setup for Crystal Gaming, because with Oriel and Zarya, you have a really, really nice combo to keep Vala alive. But the coordination that we see from Washed Up is just a little bit too much. And poor Zarya just got absolutely murdered. I mean, she got destroyed. Was killed in mid-air, actually, as they just booped her around. 2 kills against 0, so again a fantastic start for Washed Up. They are the top team in Europe right now for a reason. Haven't lost a single match in the season yet. And yeah, they are doing fantastic. That's mostly also on stack talents now. We have, for example, Anubarak by now on 11 stacks for his level 1 already, which is kind of nice. Level 4, by the way, the defensive shielding has now been taken. Kerrigan is currently taking a camp. Red team is trying to gain control again down here. And Rexa, up at the top, still has that problem that Misha is just controlling this shrine over and over and over. Now, as Kerrigan and Banana H are currently trying to take the camp here on the left side, it means that they could potentially push through the top lane a bit more aggressively. If it ever comes to a point where, for example, the wall gets opened up and they claim the opponent's fountain, then all of a sudden balance starts shifting slightly. Not really too much, but at least a little bit. Nahazu already negates the threat for just a little bit here. But of course he is fully aware that there's a cam to be taken at the bottom. Yeah, but Yasuo, nice. Dodge by him. Can they actually lock him down enough to kill him? And the answer is yes, they can. Okay, a bit of an Obama move there from them. And with that, they cannot first of all defend against this one. One tower is still gonna fall, but that was still a good kill for them. And as long as Washed Up is honestly in a position where they just deny the Dragon Knight to the opponent, they're in a pretty good spot. As time continues and level 10 abilities come in, if they keep the prowess in those team fights up, then it would be great for them, because eventually those death timers are going to be high enough that they can easily capitalize on a kill or two that they're getting here. And they're starting to pressure these lanes pretty aggressively, at least at the top. Even an attempt to see if they can steal something away here with the Siege Giant camp, which isn't really the case. But now we have 2 shrines under the control of the blue team, and theoretically at least some pressure in the middle. But Blaze is there and is dealing with it. Okay, Masquerade doesn't connect the second stun. He was trying to follow up on Junkrat. Oh, good whip, but that was also a very, very neat move, and a kill against Oriel. Oriel comes in with a fantastic whip and threatens the life of Anubarak, and then Junkrat comes in and just boops over the wall and says, well, not on my watch, bro. Not happening. So far, so good. 4 kills against 0, and level 9 versus level 9. And with that, we now have our little setup towards level 10, and a fight down here. Yeah, the only damage dealer is already rushing out. The Siege Giants are actually taken, and thanks to the drag, it seems they can get the kill against Blaze, and that's level 10. So Siege Giants plus level 10, and that equals a lot of ouch. So I expect that we're going to have some aggressive engages right here in just a few seconds. I mean, down to the bottom of the map, you can already tell that they're trying to go for Zarya, thanks to the setup with the... Oh, seems like Yasuo's going to fall. Ixia's already dead. Zarya's down. Yeah, Cocoon setup definitely powered that. That's the end of Oriel. And now they can go for... Actually, they try to go for Vala over here. Look at this dive! I mean, what the hell? And they get the kill. Holy shit. They're like, the fuck do you want from us? Fort? Like, I don't know what a fort is, but I'm gonna get that kill right there. Really well done. Diving full on onto everything. 8 kills against 0. And now we have a level lead, nearly a 2-level lead. They take the fort at the bottom of the map, but boy, do they currently go in and try and take them down. That is brutal. Top side, Nick misses the combo against Slade, but they are still able to, of course, claim the control of the top shrine. And that should result in the first Dragon Knight of the game, unless someone is able to stop them in the middle, and it doesn't really seem that way. Everybody's starting to move down to the bottom of the map. Kerrigan could sneak it now if she wanted to. Blaze is now rotating in. Honestly, that was a chance. If they would have moved straight into the Dragon Knight, that would have been a Dragon Knight for them. But they're going for the team fight at the bottom in an attempt to get a few kills here, and they will definitely accomplish that. Zarya is already down, and there's another kill against Oriel. Divide and conquer, baby. It is beautiful the way that they are setting up the macro game here. Every time we have these engages, they just do wonders. Vala hasn't taken her level 10 just yet. That's how intimidated she is. Obviously not the reason, but still. So, with this setup, honestly, Reign of Vengeance is probably your best tool. Because if you go for Strafe, then Nubarak is just gonna hold back the Cocoon in important team fights. And will just simply Cocoon you, or someone else is going to destroy you with a stun. So, it should be Reign of Vengeance. But that's the first Dragon Knight, and with level 13 talents to boot, they have a mad lead. 10 kills against 0, and they are killing it. There's the Reign of Vengeance, as expected. Can't really go into Strafe here, but no matter what she takes, she's most likely not going to survive that. Yeah, actually, it was a little bit short here. That was a kill opportunity, and they didn't take it. Okay. So, they could still get a kill down at the bottom, maybe. I mean, not likely against this. Unless the setup is there. Well, with Epic Center, they might have been able to do that. Yep. There's a kill potentially against Vala. No, but they said they're focusing on Oriel. Guys, honestly, they're shifting the focus the entire time from target to target, depending on who looks better. Within a second. It's beautiful. It's absolutely fantastic. There's an Aegis just able to save her for a moment, but she's going to survive. Yeah. Look at that. Yasuo. For once not dying here. Nicely done. Not trying to rip on him, by the way. It's He is getting focused very heavily, but that's actually not death number 5 on him. Nope, instead he gets out. Only one who hasn't died yet is the man with the mask. So Rexa is still alive and kicking. 23,000 damage on our Feel the Heat Zarya, by the way. 11 kills against 0 and just full-on map control for Washed Up. I mean, they're controlling everything here. They Quasar. Yeah. Race car, baby. Yeah, they really wanted to go for him. There's a bit of a beast up attempt, and Slade then says like, well, they invaded the fort already. That's a nice setup. Masquerade. Is Masquerade feeding? No, Masquerade is not feeding. And there's already... They want Rexa. They really want Rexa right now, and they're gonna get him too. The beauty of playing with the Nubarak is actually that if you dive into structures this heavily, you spawn beetles, and the aggro of the fort shifts, of course, to the beetles. So that's one of the beautiful things that you can do when you have that hero. Has a lot of weaknesses, but he definitely comes with a few strengths too. Now they're trying to go for even more kills. Isolation on Zarya. Another quick whip from Yasuo as he's trying to keep everybody at bay here. But boy, do they just jump on this now. It's nearly level 16 talents that we have for Washed Up. They have the dozen completed, a dozen kills against 0. And they're just taking one structure at a time. Dequaza is zoning. He's getting attacked, but there's absolutely no problem for him either. Now we're looking at, in total, 12 kills, nearly level 16. That's going to be a big talent advantage again. Also, Masquerade is going to epically enter the opponent's backline with Epicenter. Yep, and there we go. Epic Enter is taken. The elongated tongue as well. The painful spikes. I mean, I can guarantee that those spikes were pretty painful before. That has nothing to do with the level 16 talent. But what we witnessed so far was pretty painful for every Crystal Gaming fan. So, yeah. There comes the Riptire, though, as they're trying to go for another kill. And, well, didn't really get too much out of the Riptire. That might be a turnaround attempt here. Look at that. First kill. The bug has been taken down. A little bit of bug fixing going on in this game, as now Dehaka also gets eliminated. The dinosaur is dead, and yeah, instead of seeing the next Dragon Knight taken, we have Crystal Gaming with a double kill and an attempt to come back into this. So, top side, that's where we already have one altar about to be taken down to the bottom of the map. Vala is doing the same thing. And the blue team is trying to prevent the Dragon Knight and buy some time for the two heroes that just died to come back and help them to prevent the Dragon Knight itself. And late game Dragon Knights are, of course, quite important. Nobody was at the top, so that allowed Rexa to, well, it allowed the blue team to hold the control there. But as long as there's not a staggered death against Banana Age or Nick, there you should be fine. And Ubarak is back, so is Dehaka. Could in theory also move down to the bottom of the map. Top side, bit more attack is happening already here. They're trying to jump in again. And yep, that's hit after hit now. Corlius is already sitting tight. The whip is completed. Level 4 talent. Quest is done. There's still a talent advantage. I mean, let's not forget about this. There is still the level 16 advantage that they've been holding now for quite some time. And Masquerade is already sitting tight there. With Epicenter alone, he can just set all of this up perfectly for Kerrigan whenever they make the decision to go in. And that's obviously the coordination that you need with a lineup like this. You need to have the coordination there. If Anubarak goes in and the team doesn't follow, Anubarak is just dead. Kerrigan is trying to take camp on the left side. The rest of the team is already looking here in the middle, but there's level 16 now for both. And Vala, as often for Crystal Gaming, with Seething Hatred. As the old on Zarya. Nice lockdown against Banana Age, but the combo has hit. Oh, talking about hitting. Nice move against Banana Age here in the back, but it seems like Oriel is the one to die. Kerrigan takes her down, and they are just trying to go for kill number 2 against Vala, who drops the Rain of Vengeance to stop Kerrigan cold in her drags. Nice feign death by Slade to destroy the combo of Nick, but Vala dies regardless, and they're still following up on that. Same time as they're going for a skewer, Zarya is also about to fall. She's getting heavily attacked down here. Is trying to turn it around, gets the kill, and Hazu's gonna take her down. But we also saw another kill against the Blaze. So 4 for 1 trade, and now the move through the bottom of the map, but the wall has already been destroyed. Siege Giants are there. Dragonite is ready. Down goes Rexa. That's a keep at least. And they might even try and go for core here. With a 3-level lead, but no talent advantage, they have an opportunity at the bottom of the map. But it's 13 minutes into this game. Only 13 minutes right now. So that is a pretty, well, I was just about to say, that's pretty weak Dragon Knights and they might not be able to take it, but now that they just kill Aurea the second she respawns and just drop the cocoon onto Vala, the chances of them taking this are pretty high. Shield is already gone, they could even go for the Vala kill. Yep, there it is, and yeah, that's just lights out. I mean, sorry, but that's a 2-0 lead. That's a 2-0 lead right there, and this is game, ladies and gentlemen. Washed up with a 2-0 lead after a victory on Dragonshire. Hazu jumping around a little bit, and that's an airball game. And that is that. Game number 3 coming up with a big lead for the blue team. Game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity. Another smaller map, 2 lanes, aggressive map usually. And so far, we've seen a little bit of an ass-kicking. Crystal Gaming needed a moment. Put some aloe vera on all of those burns there. So with this, what do we get? Battlefield of Eternity. We've seen a lot of Reyna from Washed Up recently when they went into Exterminator after Blizzard buffed the talent. Not the only thing they buffed, obviously. They also buffed Ace in the Hole. But still, now with the new threshold, you're actually in a position where Exterminator can be useful on the map. Zarya gets banned out right away. Doesn't really shock at the slightest, considering the map and Crystal Gaming's preference for the hero, which we could see in the last game when they drafted her, even though it didn't really work out for them. But yeah, now with our next ban, or one of the next bans, Ana gets banned out. I would still expect the Deathwing ban, though. Of course, the question is also, are they going to ban, let's say, Sergeant Hammer? Hazu has played a lot of Sergeant Hammer on this map in the past. It normally gets banned against him. But do they worry about something else more than they do about the auto-attacker? Maiev gets banned again. I mean, so far we've seen Maiev just banned every single time against Crystal Gaming. And, yep, there's the Deathwing ban now, too. Is it going to be the Jimmy first? Is it what they've done in the previous matches on this map, or do they shift things up a little bit? I mean, right now with the 2-0 lead, you could also go into a bit more of a Mimi style. We have seen a lot of teams do that when they knew they were the superior team, when they were the favorites, they had a 2-0 lead already, that they started to just like have a little bit more fun and try and make things exciting with some out-of-the-box picks. We have Tyrael to start things up, so not quite really the setup that you might expect here, but it's not getting crazy yet either. So we'll actually see. So now with that said, we have Crystal Gaming with their first pick rotation. Let's see what they do. Mal'Ganis. Very, very early focus. What's the follow-up? Okay, so Ixia gets his Lucio. I mean, normally I can meme the hero 6 days to Sunday, but Ixia is actually quite solid on the hero, so yep. We'll see if he can... He is so good at this one that a lot of people actually ban him out. So that makes him probably one of the best Lucio players that we currently have in Europe. There's also Jimmy now. Very likely Exterminator. And Malfurion. I mean, so far so good. Quasar and Tyrael, they could always shift that over too, but yeah. Solid setup. I mean, again, I'm still waiting for them to start memeing a little bit and throwing in a bit of an X factor. Theoretically, we could even see Nick on Tracer. They have Malfurion already in. Nick could just say, hey, I played Carrigan a couple of times, now I want to play something else, and just zip around and get a few kills in. So that's a chance. Chen gets banned, so that's that. And, well... what's going to be our next ban here? I mean, if Magan is on the other side, you oftentimes try to ban out some of the follow-up that could potentially come. Li Ming is still open, could be banned, so is Jaina. So both of the mages are currently still available. You also have, of course, Greymane, which is good against the Immortal. There's always a question of what you're focusing on, the teamfight or the Immortal damage itself. And Li Ming, honestly, would be a solid ban here, one way or another. They ban out Hammer. Oh, okay. Hammer gets banned. And there's our Greymane. Greymane and Blaze. Get both taken here. Okay. I mean, with that, we are pretty much set with the setup here. Nick is the question. Nick is honestly the one where I want to see what he's playing now. I mean, they have Tyrael, they have Sanctification. The shield plus the... okay, Li Ming. Li Ming Garrosh. Fair enough, fair enough. I actually expected them to at least meme a little bit and get something in there. So, yeah. And there's Genji on the other side. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, game number 3. Battlefield of Eternity between Washed Up and Crystal Gaming. Game on, everybody! Washed Up against Crystal Gaming, game 3. So far, it was one-way Street Heroes of the Storm. Now maybe Crystal Gaming with an opportunity to turn this around. They picked the map. They seem to be confident here. Banana H on Malfurion, Hazops on Reina, Nick on Liming, the Quasantiriel, and Masquerade is playing Garrosh. And on the right side, the red team with Crystal Gaming playing Kolios on Greymane, Ske will be on Mal'Ganis, Yasuo on Genji, Ixia on Lucio, and Slade is playing Blaze. So Ixia gets to play as Lucio again, which is insanely good. I mean, his Lucio is fantastic. Is it good enough to deal with Washed Up? That's the question, though. Here comes Exterminator. Again, talent was pretty garbage before the buff. And honestly, only picked on Battlefield of Eternity by people that didn't know what they were doing. The European teams experimented with it ever since it came in, and then very quickly dropped it again. And never really played it. Ace in the hole was just way too strong. But now that the patch has actually buffed it by quite a lot, and has pushed the damage up to 75% and 125, you can do a whole lot of damage against an Immortal, and the trade-off is just well worth it right now. Even Ace on the whole is, of course, still very, very powerful. We have Ether Walk on Liming as the level 1 talent. Tyrael has taken to the top lane. Down here, Nick is already getting a beating, and in this case, it results in a kill. Nicely done. Genji comes in, takes Liming down, and Nick is dead. So that's now a moment where you have to be like, alright. That shifts the balance of power a little bit on this map. Oh, but that could... okay, forget what I said. Just forget what I said and just ignore it. The 4 versus 3, they could have gone for the camp here, and it would have definitely shifted the balance slightly, but if you get an insta-counter kill with a quick flip into tower range, then of course that's a different ball game. So now that the Quasar gets attacked up at the top, nice connect here with the stun regardless, we actually have Liming aiming for the camp here, so Nick is trying to camp clear with Liming. Nobody at the bottom of the map is focusing on the Khazra camp, so that is not really working just yet. But let's have a little bit of a look if that fight down here is actually yielding any results. Because Masquerade is zoned out now. And that should be a kill for them. Don't tell me he actually gets away. Okay. Yeah, for a second it really... Are you kidding me? Okay, there we go. And Genji still dies. I mean, worth the play. Don't get me wrong. Great job by Yasuo getting the kill here, and he had a chance of getting out. But it is ridiculous that that didn't result simply in a kill against Garrosh and no counter kill. It's honestly insane that he was able to move that far back into the base so that Genji was actually taken out. Now, there's a camp taken on each side. Top side, bot side. They pretty much just swapped the Khazra camp. But holy hell. Good play still by Genji. I mean, a typical classical Genji would have been him jumping in, not getting the kill and then dying, but he got the trade, so that's worth it, by all means. Gets the Dragon's Claw on level 4. We have now also Dominance taken on level 4. In comes the Fight or Flight. Tyrael! Ooh, and he dies! Yep, those shurikens just a bit too powerful apparently, piercing everything. Yeah, now we have 2 kills against 3 for the red team, so they have a slight advantage, but keep Hazops in mind. And him with his Exterminator. And again, that bad boy can now all of a sudden really start to chunk down those Immortals. They are currently playing this defensive, so they're just trying to zone the opponent out for Tyrael to come back. There's obviously the 2 Shaman camps to be considered too. Masquerade is a bit deep here. Immortal's trying to help out. Oh my god, that heal. But it's not enough to keep Garrosh alive. Garrosh is down, and Crystal Gaming is starting to take a bit of a lead here. They're actually starting to go for the halftime show. Nick is, of course, firing away from range with Liming the entire time. Halftime show is about to be hit, but still. That was pretty solid, and Washed Up is starting to fall slightly behind. They need to get Reyna onto the Immortal, and that's what they're currently trying to do, but there's only a few hit points missing. He comes in with the Inspire and starts to chunk it down, and you can already tell, like, he is doing a ton of damage. That's not only Liming that's firing away here. Now, the halftime show has still been won by Crystal Gaming. Let's not kid ourselves here. He wasn't able to completely negate the advantage, but that was still solid play, and now they have an opportunity to maybe even get the whole thing. Hazu is on the left side already. Greymane is jumping in too. And there's a lot of damage off from the... Ooh, nice penetrating round here, actually. And the follow-up with the potential kill. They're trying to set it up against especially Yasuo when he makes his move in on Genji. Yeah, but Hazu's just firing away here. And they're honestly getting closer and closer to winning this thing. They might not have the chance, though. But with a nice zone out on the right team side, they buy Hazu all the time that he needs. And Exterminator right now is a big tool in your arsenal to take the Immortal down. And he displays exactly that. Yeah, that's a win. Kill against Mal'Ganis on top of it, so that's the cherry on top of the cake here. And even though there's a level 7 talent for the red team, by the time that the Immortal is moving through the lane, both teams will have level 7 talents. And yeah, fantastic position now for Washed Up. At least in the early game here. Calamity comes now in. In addition to that, we also have Swift Retribution, which is of course going to make the auto attacks from Jimmy even more dangerous. Nice rotation from Hazu. Actually quite safe here. And Ixia and Yasuo were already trying to snipe someone on the rotation, which didn't really happen, but that was a really cool move. So now they're trying to make a play down here. Masquerade needs to be a bit careful as well. Over here, quick attack against the fort that could actually fall. Talk about falling. Yasuo's in trouble, and he is dead. Good coordination from Washed Up. Once again, which we've already seen in the previous setups. Nice damage against Ixia now too. Yeah, good attempt by Nick to get the kill. They couldn't quite lock that in, but still, very solid performance by the blue team now as they drop the top fort and try and push the Immortal forward towards the wall at the keep itself. And again, it's not going to do too much damage here, but it drops the tower down to 50% HP. And let's be honest for just a second, even just getting the fort would have been a massive, massive victory, and they got even more than that. Now they got the camp on the way back. Here's another attempt to go for Nick. Jet propulsion doesn't connect, but good isolation on Hazu, and it's tricky for him. Nick could theoretically jump in as well. Yeah, it's tricky. With the Khaldor camp here, and with Li Ming having the opportunity to maybe jump in with Calamity and also Masquerade closing, that was still dangerous for Crystal Gaming. They couldn't get the immediate kill, and now they're on the run, and it seems like Mal'Ganis is dead again. Mal'Ganis is down, flip forward, body blocks, that's a kill against Blaze. Honestly, it's just crazy. Washed Up is the #1 in Europe currently in the standings here, and you can really tell why. They are just heaps ahead of Crystal Gaming, and they are dominating this entire series without giving Crystal Gaming even a chance. There were finally a couple of kills for the red team, but just shortly after, Washed Up just completely turned it. 6 kills against 4, they have a level lead, they're about to hit level 10, they have the first 4 taken down, thanks to the advantage with heroic abilities. They have the chance now to move through the bottom of the map and maybe even drop the second fort. They also have now Jimmy still waiting for his ult, could easily go into Hyperion again if they just want to push with an Immortal. Raiders instead gives you a lot of utility, of course, depends a lot on what you want to achieve with the heroic ability here. But in we go. Next Immortal is going to come up in just a few, and they're going to steal this one away. Can't fight for it if you're the blue team. Level 10 ability on the other side. There's a taunt already in. A bit of a missed follow-up though. There's already the attempt to finally get Mal'Ganis, and Li Ming gets it. Gets the reset, and whoa, they get the kill against Genji as well. Li Ming couldn't quite close the deal here. Couldn't quite seal it, and now we had just Jimmy coming in with the Raiders and taking them down. And that's, of course, an easy halftime show right there. I mean, it is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, it's well done. I mean, so far, let's have a quick look at what else is getting played here. What else is going to happen? I mean, unless they can force the fight before the Immortal is taken, this is going to be a big one moving through. But they're trying to buy as much time as they can. They have level 10 now, so that gives them a chance to fight back. A chance that they desperately needed. Yeah, 25,000 damage already by Li Ming. Immortal so far safe. Once Jimmy makes the way in, it's going to be a very different story, but Hazu is going for the defense as well. Right, Hero is jumping out over here. Damage output 18,000 for Genji. Yasuo is trying. I mean, he's doing his best, but it's tricky. It's very tricky. There's so much good coordination that we see for the blue team. And here comes the setup. Masquerade, there's the Sanctification as they're moving in again. They're trying to go for the quick kill here. And it doesn't really seem like they can though. Oh, they flip into the Immortal stun. And that's an insta-kill against Genji. Ixia falls on Lucio. But that was beautifully played from Masquerade. The flip into the Immortal stun doesn't leave a chance to Genji. And now we have 11 kills against 4 right there. This is just fantastic. Top lane is wide open. They go for keep. An easy one, and keep in mind that that Immortal is now moving through the bottom of the map, so they're going to get way more than only the keep over here. It's 9.5 minutes into the game, and the keep is going to fall one way or another. Jimmy is already down at the bottom of the map and dealing with all of this. Of course, the red team is now trying to at least slow down the rotation and maybe get a kill in the process with a 5 versus 4, but they also have to be concerned about what's happening over here. Jimmy is in, Ford is definitely going to fall. They're of course going to try and get a little bit more washed up, that is. And at this point, they're just moving through the red team like hot butter through cheese. Absolutely no chance here for Crystal Gaming. 13 talents now in the hands of Washed Up as they try to go for keep number 2. They might not be able to get the second keep, but opening up that wall alone is already worth a lot for them. And they still have, I mean, they have the chance of going for Sanctification. It's only another 15 seconds until Tyrael has the talent back. Twilight Dream is already there, so they can easily force that fight if they really want to. And they're actually going for it. Mal'Ganis is already a bit low. Here comes the connect. 2 seconds for Sanctification, and they have the chance here. They go for the kill. Bunker prevents it, but it seems like he's going to fall regardless. Sanct is out. They're trying to get the kill against Blaze. He walks away. Genji gets his ult out and is trying to murder them, and he might get the kills here. He actually gets the one against Nick first, together with Greymane, and now they're trying to go for the follow-up against Tyrael, who actually dies. Tries to get some explosion value and doesn't get any of it. But now it's cleanup time. They're trying to go for Banana H. He's likely going to fall. Greymane against Malfurion. Usually doesn't go in Malfurion's favor. So that's 3 additional kills for the red team. Level 13 talents are ready for them too. But of course, it doesn't change the fact that the bottom keep has taken a lot of damage. And that they're still far, far behind. Okay, so right now, 13 stacks for Broccoli, by the way. The level 4 Malfurion is starting to get stacked slowly. 16,000 damage for him. That's more than Tyrael or Garrosh have. So, yep, that little Broccoli is turning slowly but steadily into Groot. Masquerade goes down, but they got the kill against Lucio. The cap is still taken by Crystal Gaming, but the fight isn't over. 4 versus 3, and they're able to get away. But they're trying to turn it. Yasu! The hit connects, and he's dead. Nick, calm the fuck down, please. I mean, seriously, dude. Nerf Nick, ladies and gentlemen. Nick, if you make plays like this, they're going to nerf Li Ming again. You know they're going to do it. So, well, then again, who am I kidding? Blizzard doesn't watch Europe. Okay, so 13 kills against 8, and the Twilight Dream. Greymane is very, very likely going to die here. He might not be the only one, though. Looks like Mal'Ganis is in a bit of trouble. Sanctification. Yeah, I'm not so sure if that was really needed. But hey, why not? Equaza wants to hit the R button too. Can't really blame him. Starts to jump in and out. I think they're starting to have a little bit of fun here. Level 16 talents aren't there yet. Oh, it's a standoff. It is a standoff. And Li Ming doesn't respect the 1 versus 1. It was a blink contest, and it seems like the blue team blinked first. So now, another setup here. Everybody's jumping around as the top lane gets pushed out. Hazu Ops, the German he is, moves straight in for the Immortal and says, "This is not efficient. We need to take down Sea Mortal. Sea Mortal will win the game. There is no reason to take them down to fight. This is not about having fun. We don't have fun, we win games." Very, very bad Hazo impression, but hey, if we go for Nazi Germany already, then at least we need to get a little bit of that in. So, well, Blaze is down. That's 17 kills against 8, and the Immortal has, as already said, taken a beating, but it's still not getting completely claimed. Only the halftime show has been won, but since they got the kill against Greymane, they might as well just go for it. Could even go for the core directly. I mean, at this point, they're realizing that too. Don't even have to take the keep down. They already obliterated the top keep, so let's just go. And the question still remains, can Crystal Gaming defend here? Nine. Alright, dude, I was just asking. But 83% on the core. They try to get the kill against Ixia. Li Ming! And Nick goes down. Alright, Nick is dead, but I guess so is Genji. Huh? Maybe not? Well, yeah, okay. Who am I kidding? Of course he's down. 19 kills against 9. We have 15 versus 17 right now. And top lane is pushing down here. The chance to take down Tyrael. Ixia is just running around on Lucio. They get the kill against Malfurion. That's something. But let's not forget about those top lane catapults. It's only one now. The second one is moving in. Keep, by the way, is not down. Just saying that Keep is still there. Catapult over here. They're most likely going to focus on the mid structures first. And Orbs is again just moving in and is like, see, I told you. We need to be efficient. We need to be efficient. We can't just simply sit here and fuck around. We need to go for the Immortal. Yeah, and talking about Immortal, while Hazo is taking it, thanks to Exterminator, we have Masquerade interrupting everything down here. So this one's, of course, going to be taken by the team in blue. And please don't get the kill. Don't go 2v4 and get the kill here. That would just be a little bit too much. Give them a chance. I mean, come on. Alright, so with that, top side, there's still the fight happening. Nice penetrating round. Gets saved. Masquerade is bullying at this point. Absolutely bullying. Also getting bullied a little bit. But the Immortal is now on the map. Catapults are moving in through the top lane. And this should be the conclusion of game number 3. And therefore the best of 5 series that we have on our hands here. Kolios. Okay, this time Li Ming doesn't connect the damage. By the way, look at her damage just for a second as Greymane dies. 70,000. Jimmy is the only one that hasn't died yet, by the way. They're trying to go for Ixia. He might get away. I can't... No, he's not going to get away. He's not going to get away. I can tell you another thing that's not going to get away. It's called the core. And if you lose it, you're out. So that's another kill against Ixia. Li Ming with the ult pushes him in. And then there's the kill. A bit of a flip around. And ladies, that's game. Washed up with a 3-0 victory against Crystal Gaming. GG and well played. Nicely done by the blue team as they take the victory here on Battlefield of Eternity.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for watching the video today. I hope that you guys had some fun with the coverage here. If you want to support me and my work, you can do so now for absolutely free, thanks to your continued partnership with Ray throughout the entire month of March. And I would really appreciate if you could just take a couple of minutes, jump down in the YouTube description, check the link out, download the game and play through the 20-second tutorial that ends with the dragon fight. And if you do that, you support me directly, it would help me a lot, and I would really appreciate if you would take a few minutes to do that and support the channel here. Either way, I hope that you guys had a good day today, and see you guys soon on the channel here with more esports coverage on KhaldorTV. Bye bye.